them and take all away their catches, and they are brutally treated. Sometimes some have been even shot. So we urge the minister first make arrangements to release them immediately, and all those boats which are captured by the Sri Lankan Navy or in the sea, totally they are getting totally wasted, sir. And the fisherman has no source of living. So kindly make necessary steps. You are taking steps, I appreciate, but at the same time, put a full stop. This is ongoing issue. But we have been repeatedly telling the fishermen going on strike. The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister is writing letters, and only letters are being corresponded. We need a solution for that, sir. Please, thank you very much.
Sir, the honorable member has expressed concern about the number of fishermen who are in Sri Lankan custody. Obviously, because it is Sri Lanka, it is natural that the majority of fishermen would be from Tamil Nadu and from Puducherry. Right now, sir, the situation is till yesterday there were 86 fishermen, Indian fishermen in Sri Lankan custody. Today, one more trawler has been apprehended, so 11 more fishermen. So all told, 97 of them are in custody. 83 are serving sentences, 3 are awaiting trial, and 11 of them have been apprehended today. Now, the point, sir, which the honorable member had made, and I through you would like him to appreciate the evolving situation. Sri Lanka, sir, has 2 laws, one called Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Act 1996, one called Fisheries Regulation of Foreign Fishing Boats Act 1979. Both these acts were amended, one in 2018, one in 2023, and they provide for much stiffer sentences, bigger fines, greater detentions, and those who are today serving sentences, many of them are owners or skippers of boats, or they are repeat offenders. And that, sir, has been the challenge in dealing with Sri Lanka. Honorable member has said that we should put a full stop to it. I think, sir, the House is also aware that in a way, our government has inherited a problem. This problem began in 1974 when the International Maritime Boundary Line was drawn by the then Union government with consultations with the state government. Then in 1976, an exchange of letters happened where the fishing jurisdictions were delineated. So the decisions which were taken in 74 and 76 are today the root cause of the situation we are facing. We are trying to engage the Sri Lankan government to get them to take a humanitarian issue. Also, what we are trying to do, sir, is through the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, we are trying to get as many boats fitted with transponders so that inadvertent crossings are minimized. So our efforts are on diplomatically to release people in terms of our colleagues from the Department of Fisheries to fit the transponders so that there are no inadvertent crossings. And meanwhile, we are trying to see if we can give them alternative solutions so that this situation doesn't occur.
Sri G.K. Vasan.
Pointed.
Without any shelter, the boats are being there in the field. And we have to take steps
Thank you.
to be compensated. And kindly give a solution. What else might have happened in earlier, let it be. But what is the solution?
Sir, a pointed question to the honorable respected minister, sir. What is the long-term plan for the government of India on the safety and livelihood of our fishermen, sir? Even last week, sir, the government of India called fishermen from Tamil Nadu and they had a meeting, sir. I only want to tell the minister there should be a concrete step so that fishermen livelihood are safe.
Honorable Minister.
Sir, the long-term plan rests on 2 initiatives, not of my ministry, but one of our other ministries, sir. One is the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. It has an allocation of 20,050 crores. And the purpose of it is to fit boats with transponders so that you don't have this inadvertent crossing, acquisition of boats, nets and training, to look at supporting deep sea fishing vessels and giving them equipment and looking for alternatives, which is sea ranching of shrimps, seaweed and bivalve culture, new fish culture techniques, cage culture, cold chain technology. There is also, sir, a fund called Fisheries Aquaculture Infrastructure Development Fund, FIDF, which has an allocation of 7,522.48 crores. So between these, the idea is to provide alternatives. But to do this, sir, we need, certainly the union government is taking the lead, but we need the cooperation of the state government. We need the fishermen's committees also to cooperate with us so that there is an understanding of what it is which will minimize the risk to our fishing community.
Sri Ashok Chavan.
Thank you, Chairman, sir, for allowing this supplementary. Chairman, sir, this issue of detention of Indians, not only in the case of fishermen, but generally we observe that Indians who are going abroad, recently I am just quoting a small incident which, of course, not relevant to the immediate question which has been asked, that from Basmat Taluka of Maharashtra, a person who had gone to Iran was illegally detained there for no rhyme or reason. For about 1 month, his relatives were not aware where he is, whether he's alive or whether he's dead. And we had to literally pursue this case. And then he was sent back to India. There was no reason for why he was detained. There were no records maintained in the prison where he was kept. And for no rhyme of reason, then they simply had to send him back. My simple question to the Honorable Minister is that whenever Indians who are detained illegally, I'm not talking about illegal immigrants, I'm talking about people who have gone legally abroad for job, for business, for any other purposes. If they are detained in any country, immediately his relatives, there is some mechanism set up by the ministry that his relatives are immediately informed that so and so person has been detained in this country for whatever reason it is. And secondly, a mechanism set in the embassy to ensure that there is speedy disposal of the issue and he's sent back to his country or detained as per the case existing. That's all.
Honorable Minister.
Sir, I would like to inform the honorable member that we are very much aware of this case. In fact, the family got in touch with us very early in this case. Our embassy was very proactive. The ambassador himself took up the matter with the foreign ministry. As a result of the efforts of the embassy, this particular person was released. We have protested to the Iranians about the manner in which he was detained. So we certainly want the House, sir, to be aware, the Indians traveling abroad to be aware that the government does everything to make sure that they are safe and secure. We advise people whenever they go to any country, if they are going to live in that country, to register with the embassy, because we need to have their contact points. But in this particular case, for example, it was a casual traveler. He was not resident out there, but nevertheless, we intervened in a very, very forceful manner. But in terms of the mechanism, again, I wish to assure the honorable member, sir, today, the security and safety of Indian citizens is the #1 priority of the embassy, and ambassadors themselves deal with this issue. So when you have the ambassador looking at it, I think the entire embassy mechanism is at the disposal.
Question number 289, Sri Brajlal. Honorable Minister.
उत्तर सभापत्र पर रख दिया गया।
Supplementary number 1, Sri Brajlal.
सभापति महोदय, मैं आपके माध्यम से सरकार से जानना चाहता हूं कि न्यूक्लियर ऊर्जा के माध्यम से स्वच्छ और सतत ऊर्जा समाधानों को बढ़ावा देने के लिए न्यूक्लियर ऊर्जा क्षेत्र में अनुसंधान और विकास के लिए
Honorable members, once again, I appreciate your concern, but since we are guided by some rules, if you want a further discussion, send a communication. I will have it structured. Sanjay Raoji, I will have it structured. I have not received, I said yesterday, I have not got anything on my table. One sec, please, take your seat. Take your seat. Sanjay ji, take your seat. Please take your seat. Sanjay, take your seat. I have not received any communication for any formal discussion so far on any issue on my table. The moment it comes, It will receive my earnest attention, Honorable Minister.
पूरा हुआ सर।
Supplementary one.
धन्यवाद चेयरमैन सर। मैं आपके माध्यम से सरकार से पूछना चाहता हूं कि न्यूक्लियर ऊर्जा के माध्यम से स्वच्छ और सतत ऊर्जा समाधानों को बढ़ावा देने के लिए न्यूक्लियर ऊर्जा क्षेत्र में अनुसंधान और विकास के लिए कोई निधि निर्धारित और जारी की गई है? यदि हाँ, तो संबंधी ब्यौरा क्या है?
माननीय मंत्री जी।
सभापति महोदय, माननीय सदस्य ने बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण प्रश्न किया है और इससे अवसर रहेगा कि बाकी हाउस से भी ये जानकारी साझा की जाए। अभी हाल ही में इस बजट में न्यूक्लियर मिशन की घोषणा की गई है एंड आई डोंट नो हाउ मच इट हैज बीन रियलाइज्ड एंड हाउ मच ऑफ अटेंशन दिस announcement has received even in the media and the public domain, but I'm sure in the times to come the history will record that this has been one of the most path-breaking decisions in the history of independent India. And if one was asked to define in a single sentence the hallmark of this decision, why I'm saying so is that this in a single sentence is the true vindication of Homi Bhabha's dream. Because the old timers would recall that when Homi Bhabha launched the nuclear program of India in the early 1950s, there was a widespread skepticism. Also because Hiroshima, Nagasaki had happened just about 7-8 years earlier. And there, some of the cynics also went to the extent of saying that India may be up to some mischief trying to develop an atom bomb or so. And at that point in time, Homi Bhabha had the courage and conviction to declare that India's nuclear program would be dedicated to peaceful purposes. And today, indeed, it is a vindication under Prime Minister Modi of what was pledged by Homi Bhabha. We have launched a nuclear mission with a singular objective and a singular declaration that this is meant to meet the increasing needs of India's energy requirements, at the same time, provide environment-friendly, clean source of energy. और जैसे माननीय सदस्य ने कहा, the objective of the nuclear mission and the declaration in the current budget is that we would achieve 100 gigawatt nuclear energy target by 2047, which would comprise 10% of the overall energy requirements of India at that point in time. और इसके हेतु 2-3 और महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय लिए गए। उसमें सबसे अधिक क्रांतिकारी निर्णय ओपनिंग अप द न्यूक्लियर सेक्टर टू प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स. It could have been possible only because of Prime Minister Modi's capacity to take out-of-box decisions, to break the taboos of the past. Nobody expected this, nobody even demanded this. People had reconciled that nuclear program has to work behind a veil of secrecy. कभी इसकी किसी ने मांग नहीं की, किसी ने सुझाव भी नहीं दिया, इस सदन में भी नहीं दिया. लेकिन ऐसा लगा सरकार नीति निर्धारकों को कि we have to move forward from where we are. और जैसे प्रधानमंत्री ने एक COP20 में COP मीटिंग में भी ये रखा था कि we will be net zero by 2070. And if we have to move along with the world, if we have to play a global role, then we have to meet the global benchmarks, global parameters, and therefore also follow global strategies. And the turnover 360 is that India was never taken seriously as a country dealing with these sophisticated subjects or areas like climate concern, clean energy, etc., etc. Today, we have assumed a leadership role through this. And the second important component of this nuclear mission is that we will go in with the public private participation in a big way in the manufacture of small modular reactors, which are particularly relevant to a country like India, which is as heterogeneous as we know. We have small pockets of dense population. We have scattered clusters of factories, cements, steel. We have peripheral populations living in the distal areas, sometimes also not very easily accessible. And therefore, these small modular reactors, 300 megawatts, 16 megawatt, 200 megawatt, they would be the ready-made, readily available sources of electricity energy for India.
Supplementary number 2, Shri Brajlal.
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय। मैं सरकार से पूछना चाहता हूं कि न्यूक्लियर मिशन के अंतर्गत उत्तर प्रदेश में छोटे मॉड्यूलर रिएक्टर स्थापित करने का कोई विचार है? यदि हां, तो संबंधी ब्यौरा क्या है और ये रिएक्टर कब तक स्थापित किए जाने की संभावना है?
Honorable Minister.
सभापति महोदय, निश्चय ही जैसे हमारा ये विस्तारकरण का कार्यक्रम शुरू होगा, and this is part of the expansion of the nuclear program, because if we have to expand, we cannot depend wholly solely on the government sources. We have to look beyond that, from the philanthropies, from the private sector, from the investments from the different quarters. और उसके अंतर्गत उत्तर प्रदेश भी और बाकी राज्यों को भी इसका लाभ रहेगा, क्योंकि हमारे जो स्मॉल मॉड्यूलर रिएक्टर्स है, शुरू में हमारे इस न्यूक्लियर मिशन में भी इस बात का उल्लेख है कि 5 इंडिजिनस स्मॉल मॉड्यूलर रिएक्टर अगले कुछ वर्षों के भीतर तैयार किए जाएंगे, जिसके लिए 20,000 करोड़ रुपए की राशि निर्धारित भी की गई है। इसमें मुख्य तौर पर 3 श्रेणियां रहेगी। पहला 200 मेगावाट, क्योंकि जो इंटरनेशनल संस्थाएं हैं उनका ये मानना है कि 300 मेगावाट से नीचे की जो कैपेसिटी का रिएक्टर है वो स्मॉल मॉड्यूलर रिएक्टर की श्रेणी में गिना जाता है, और इसलिए एक हमारी श्रेणी रहेगी 200 मेगावाट की, विच इज गोइंग टू बी कंप्लीटेड इन 5 to 6 years। दूसरा हमारा रहेगा 55 मेगावाट के प्रेशराइज्ड रिएक्टर्स, और दूसरे उससे भी छोटे 10 मेगावाट से भी कम, विच आर नोन एज इंडियन गैस कूल्ड रिएक्टर्स, ऑल ऑफ देम इंडिजिनस, particularly developed or designed to produce hydrogen. So we are also entering into that area. और अगर आपने उत्तर प्रदेश की ही विशेषकर बात करनी है तो 220 मेगावाट के 2 यूनिट उत्तर प्रदेश राज्य में स्थापित करने की योजना अभी से काम कर रही है।
Supplementary number 3, श्री प्रफुल्ल पटेल।
सभापति महोदय, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो एक क्रांतिकारी निर्णय लिया है और खास करके निजी क्षेत्र को भी परमाणु ऊर्जा तैयार करने के लिए उसमें शामिल किया जाए, ये एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण कदम है। और स्वच्छ पर्यावरण ये प्रधानमंत्री जी का, सरकार का पहले से ही एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण लक्ष्य रहा है। अन्य कई देशों में, विकसित देशों में परमाणु ऊर्जा, मैं एक उदाहरण फ्रांस, आप जानते ही होंगे मंत्री महोदय, कि करीब 60 से 70% उनकी ऊर्जा परमाणु क्षेत्र से तैयार होती है, और ऐसे कई विकसित देश हैं जहां पर इसके बारे में काफी उसको गति मिली है। हमारे देश में बहुत वर्षों से, और अभी होमी भाभा जी का जिक्र हुआ, वहां से शुरुआत हुई। आज मुंबई के भीतर भाभा एटॉमिक रिसर्च सेंटर है, वहां पर न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर है। तारापुर जो समुद्र के किनारे पर मुंबई के ऊपर है, वहां पर भी परमाणु ऊर्जा तैयार होती है। लेकिन हमारे राज्य में, महाराष्ट्र में, बहुत वर्षों से जैतापुर में, कोंकण विभाग में, वहां पर बहुत बड़ा परमाणु ऊर्जा का वहां पर प्लांट बनेगा, इसकी चर्चा होते रही। और एक विशेष पक्ष की ओर से, उनके नेताओं की ओर से, कोंकण का विकास कैसे न हो इसके लिए बार बार उसमें बाधाएं निर्माण करते हुए वो आज तक वहां पर सही तरह से कोई प्रगति हो नहीं पाई है। और मैं इसलिए पूछ रहा हूं कि केवल राजनीतिक विरोध के वजह से वहां पर कोंकण का विकास नहीं हो रहा है। तो मैं माननीय मंत्री महोदय से ये जानना चाहता हूं कि जैतापुर के बारे में क्या विशेष हो रहा है, और कोंकण के विकास में केवल जैतापुर न्यूक्लियर पावर ही नहीं, चाहे वहां पर रिफाइनरी हो, पोर्ट हो, हर चीज का विरोध होता है। तो जैतापुर, और कुछ लोग उनको बिना सोचे समझे साथ भी देते हैं, तो इसके बारे में आपके पास क्या जानकारी है?
माननीय मंत्री जी।
सभापति महोदय, माननीय प्रफुल्ल पटेल जी बड़े वरिष्ठ सदस्य और उन्होंने बड़ा एक संजीदा प्रश्न भी रखा है, उसका कुछ एक उत्तर उन्होंने स्वयं भी दे दिया। तो उस राजनीतिक भाग में ना जाते हुए, क्योंकि वो आपने स्वयं ही उसको निपटा लिया है, लेकिन जो उसका अपडेट जैसा आपने माननीय सदस्य ने मांगा है तकनीकी तौर पर, ये सत्य है जैसे उन्होंने अपने मूल प्रश्न से पहले बात रखी कि न्यूक्लियर प्रोग्राम जहां जहां भी, और मैंने अपने आरंभिक वाक्यों में भी ये कहा था कि जो जो भी देश विकसित होकर के वहां तक पहुंचे हैं, उन्होंने खुल करके प्राइवेट सेक्टर को अपने साथ एंगेज किया है। और वर्तमान सरकार ने प्रधानमंत्री जी के ही निर्देश अनुसार स्पेस में भी बड़ा सफल प्रयोग किया, जो आज इतनी ज्यादा हम सिंगल डिजिट स्पेस स्टार्टअप्स हुआ करते थे 5-6 वर्ष पहले तक। जब से स्पेस रिफॉर्म्स आई गई, प्राइवेट सेक्टर को खोला गया, हम बढ़ करके 300 हो गए, and now we are going to be we are already $8 billion space economy. In 7-8 years we'll multiply 5 times, 6 times, going to 44 billion. इतनी तेज रफ्तार से बढ़ने लगा। So all our success stories in the last 10 years under Prime Minister Modi have been because of a very open, forthcoming approach, not having any kind of skepticism or status quoist mindset. इसी प्रकार वैक्सीन में शायद कभी कभी इस बात का एहसास नहीं होता कि इंडिया वाज नेवर टेकन सीरियसली एज अ हेल्थ केयर सोसाइटी। अगर हम बीमार भी पड़ जाते तो 4 दिन हम इंतजार करते टू गेट थिंग्स वर्सन एंड देन सी अ डॉक्टर। आज उसी देश ने दुनिया का पहला वैक्सीन कोविड का तैयार करके देश भर में मान्यता प्राप्त की दैट वी आर लीडर्स इन प्रिवेंटिव हेल्थ केयर। और ये सब भी इसलिए हुआ कि प्राइवेट सेक्टर को इन्वॉल्व किया। प्रधानमंत्री ने मिशन सुरक्षा कोविड में जब प्रारंभ की तो दिन प्रतिदिन उसकी मॉनिटरिंग हुआ करती थी, और इस लॉट ऑफ पर्सनल एफर्ट ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ द प्राइम मिनिस्टर एंड हिज ऑफिस हैज गॉन इनटू दैट। नाउ कमिंग स्ट्रेट टू द जैतापुर का ये प्रोजेक्ट 6 यूनिट का है। पहले मैं मूलतः बता दूं, इसमें प्रत्येक यूनिट की कैपेसिटी है 1730 मेगावाट, मल्टीप्लाइड बाई 6 बन जाती है 3380 मेगावाट, विच इज अ सब्सटेंशियल कैपेसिटी एज राइटली पॉइंटेड आउट बाय द ऑनरेबल मेंबर श्री प्रफुल्ल पटेल जी। एंड जब ये फंक्शनल हो जाए, जैसा माननीय सदस्य ने कहा, तो इसका महत्व ये रहेगा कि जो हमने 100 गीगावाट का न्यूक्लियर मिशन में लक्ष्य रखा है सन 2047 तक, जैतापुर अलोन विल बी एबल टू मीट 10% ऑफ द 100 मेगावाट। अब इसमें स्टेटस क्या है, इन्होंने यही ठीक कहा कि काफी समय से चल रहा है। पिछले सत्र में भी इस बात पर जिक्र आया था। इसमें हमारा लैंड एक्विजिशन हो गया जो पहले था, उसके बाद R&R पैकेज होता है हमारा, रीसेटलमेंट एंड रिहेबिलिटेशन, जो NPCI और महाराष्ट्र सरकार के बीच में MOU के तहत वो भी अंजाम दे दिया गया। एनवायरनमेंट, अब आप देखिए ये प्रोजेक्ट शुरू हुआ था पिछली सरकारों में, लेकिन इतना विलंब किया गया कि बहुत सारी अप्रूवल्स ही एक्सपायर हो गए। यानी the project didn't take off, but the approvals had expired. For example, environment clearance had been obtained till November 2022. अब जब ये सरकार आई है, जब हम कहीं आगे तक पहुंचे तो हमारे सामने एक ये समस्या आई कि उस एनवायरनमेंट अप्रूवल को फिर से क्लियरेंस को करना है, और उसके लिए उसको भेजा गया। अब हमारे पास टर्म्स कंडीशंस आ गई हैं एंड दैट इज सून बीइंग फॉलोड अप। उसके बाद 2008 में इंडिया एंड फ्रांस, जैसे माननीय सदस्य ने कहा, ये हुआ था। फिर अगले 5-6 वर्ष को इसमें ज्यादा प्रगति नहीं हुई। मैसेज अरेवा एक कंपनी थी फ्रांस की, उसके साथ एक मुआहिदा हुआ। फिर 2016 में फॉर नो फॉल्ट ऑफ आवर्स और नो शॉर्ट कमिंग ऑन एनी पार्ट, इट हैपेंड ऑन देयर साइड, यूरोपियन जो एक फंड आ गया, यूरोपियन EDF करके एक संस्था बनी, विच टुक ओवर द फंक्शंस ऑफ मैसेज अरेवा। Shri Jairam Ramesh once talked about it in the parliament also, and therefore we had to do another MOU, now this time with EDF. उसके बाद लेकिन इस सरकार ने एक दिन भी, एक वर्ष भी विलंब नहीं किया। We were progressively moving forward, and I'll give you the chronology. 2016 we quickly entered into an MOU with EDF. 2018 March we entered into an industrial way forward agreement. We superseded the MOU of the NPCI and EDF. Just 1 month later, in April 2018, EDF submitted the technical part of the techno-chemical agreement. In the next month, May 2018, we persuaded, we followed up, as a result of which EDF submitted the commercial part, but it was more or less generalized. Then after further follow-up, April 2021, the binding TCO came. Then inter-government committee was constituted to resolve the CL&D issues. Then French side proposed pre-engineering contract, and उसमें कुछ एक हमें clarifications की आवश्यकता थी, इसलिए एक टास्क ग्रुप बनाया गया और 2021 में the EDF binding was there. They quoted some amount which was, I don't think I have to spell out the figures here because of the reasons known to all the members. But the Indian side also had certain views on this, and the discussions went on up to 2022. 45% of the technical issues as of date have been resolved, and the discussions are still going on, but we are continuously following it up in a very positive way. We've not given up, nor have we forgotten about it.
Supplementary number 4, Sri Ramesh.
Thank you, sir. Sir, India's nuclear energy establishment goes back to the 1950s. And it is the leadership of India's first Prime Minister and the scientific vision and determination of Homi Bhabha that set India on the path of nuclear self-reliance. So Homi Bhabha presented to the country a 3-phase nuclear energy program. Phase 1 based on uranium, phase 2 based on plutonium, and phase 3 based on thorium. Now, India has about 25% of the world's reserves of thorium, but thorium is not a fissile material, it's a fertile material. And that is why Homi Bhabha gave this 3-phase plan. Now, India has mastered phase 1. What the Honorable Minister is saying about small modular reactors, India has long developed 200 megawatt reactors in Kalpakam, in Rawat Bhata, in Narora, in Kaiga, in Kakrapar, in Gujarat, and many other locations. Now, phase 1 we have mastered. I'd like to ask the Honorable Minister, where are we on phase 2? When is the fast breeder reactor in Kalpakam going to be commissioned? And there were plans for setting up an advanced thorium reactor for phase 3. Where are we on phase 3? These are my pointed questions to the Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Mr. Jairam Ramesh has asked a 3-part question. He studies the subject quite well as far as the nuclear sector is concerned. And he also knows quite a lot, but sometimes he tends to know more than he actually knows. So I'll try to... So no. Okay. It is to match.
You did not object.
It is to match the statement made by the other side.
Honorable Minister. Oh,
yes,
please,
it is to match the statement made by the member that the minister has not been aware of the fact that the small reactors are already there. So I had also to settle that part of the observation. Now, having said that, now starting from one of the parts where he says that reactors are always being made, and what is being said all these last few minutes is all humbug. If that is so, please, 200 megawatt reactors does not necessarily mean that it is a small modular reactor. There is a definite technology involved in that. That is why I said sometimes one of us, I would not then, tends to know more than one knows. Now, but we have an advantage, which I said in the beginning. In India, we have large number of reactors which are not of that capacity. Outside, we have larger reactors. Here we have number of reactors which are below 300 megawatt, which is the cutoff laid down by the international agencies. And therefore, it would be easier for us to convert those reactors into small modular reactors. That's what. But that does not mean that we would say this is a small modular reactor. A. Now that is the first part. Now second part is, yes, 3-stage nuclear program. Maybe many of the members were not aware, so That has been tried to be elucidated. But I'll tell you, first stage uses natural uranium for the benefit of the member. The second stage uses the reprocessing of uranium-239. And third stage, of course, is the thorium. Now, he says, what is the status of Kundakalam? Now, before, I hope the member would not get agitated when I tell him that Kundakalam. Okay. Yes, okay, I can give you both. Okay, I'll give you Bhavani also, don't worry. Now, as far as Bhavani is concerned, it is already been completed. It is fully indigenous. And to commence with, 500 megawatt critical testing was done. Phase 2 is under commission. And the hallmark is that it is a pressurized reactor, and it is towards the commencement of the second stage. And of course, I agree with you that it will finally pave the way for the third stage thorium utilization also, because India has the highest reserves in the world of thorium as far as thorium is concerned, about 21%. But the delay which has happened before 2014, I'm sure the honorable member would be aware of that. And that has been so in case of Kalpakam, in case of Bhavani, in case of Kundakalam. And before I am interrupted, I'll just say one sentence. Kundakalam was first conceived way back 1988. But the first unit was installed in 2014 after this government.
Supplementary 5, Shri Kartikeya Sharma. Shri Kartikeya Sharma.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. The nuclear energy mission is a visionary step towards achieving net zero targets while ensuring energy security and a foundation stone for Viksit Bharat. But through you, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister, given the small modular reactors, SMRs, are a game changer due to their scalability and safety, could the Minister elaborate on how the government plans to accelerate indigenous R&D in SMRs to ensure faster deployment, and what collaborations are being explored with global leaders in nuclear technology to make India a hub for advanced nuclear innovation and leader? Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. I'm sure, I'm glad that the honorable member has asked this question, which is in fact a continuity of what we've been discussing in the earlier few minutes. Small modular reactor, as he rightly mentioned, is a step in that direction. It is going to make India not only a nuclear hub, but it is also going to make India a country to reckon with. Of course, we are in the expansion mode. For that only, we have decided to engage the private players. Now, as far as the what has been done, to be very precise, earlier on, the budget also used to be very minimal. As I said in the lower house yesterday also, there has been a 170% increase in the budget of Department of Atomic Energy from 2014 till today in 2024-25 budget.